Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samar News. Here are today's headlines. Iran has officially ended the formal cooperation deal with global nuclear watchdog after what it calls an unlawful and politically driven resolution passed by the IAEA board. Known as the Cairo Understanding, the deal now stands terminated. The resolution demanded that Iran fully cooperate with the agency and provide precise information about its stockpile of near-weapons-grade uranium, as well as grant its inspectors access to Iranian nuclear sites. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said the US and European powers pushed the resolution through despite significant opposition.
The US has signaled to President Volodymyr Zelenskiy that Ukraine should accept a Washington-drafted peace framework proposing Kyiv give up territory and reduce its armed forces, according to two sources familiar with the matter. The proposals discussed by the US with Russia, but not prepared with Kyiv, come as Ukraine faces fresh Russian gains and a political shake-up in Kyiv, where Parliament dismissed the energy and justice ministers on Wednesday.
The Kremlin says any Ukraine peace plan must address what it calls the root causes of the conflict, adding that there are no negotiations with Washington on the US-drafted proposal. The plan reportedly asks Kyiv to cede territory and weapons in exchange for security guarantees. Moscow says it has nothing to add beyond what was stated at the August summit in Anchorage. Meanwhile, Ukraine says it has received 1,000 bodies from Russia, described by Moscow as fallen Ukrainian servicemen. Kyiv's Prisoner of War Coordination Center says investigators will now begin identification and examinations. Both sides have exchanged thousands of bodies since the war began, though Ukraine has previously accused Russia of sending remains in disordered condition, a claim Moscow denies. On the other hand, Hungary's Foreign Minister, Peter Szijjártó, says the EU should halt funding to Ukraine after corruption reports, calling new proposed aid insane. His comments came as Kyiv dismissed two ministers caught in a major graft probe. Arriving for talks in Brussels, Sweden and Poland said any future Ukraine peace plan must include the European Union. US President Donald Trump says he will meet New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani at the White House this Friday. It will be the first meeting between the Republican president and the Democratic socialist who won this month's mayoral election. The two have previously criticized each other, with Trump openly backing Mamdani's opponent, Andrew Cuomo.
US President Donald Trump has signed the Epstein Files Transparency Act, requiring the Justice Department to disclose all unclassified materials from the investigation into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The legislation, passed overwhelmingly by Congress, mandates that files be made available in a searchable and downloadable format within 30 days. Sensitive materials such as victim identities, child exploitation evidence, and active investigation details may be withheld, but the law prohibits withholding documents for embarrassment, reputational harm, or political reasons.
Turkey is set to host next year's COP31 UN Climate Summit, while Australia will lead the government-level negotiations. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says the arrangement is part of a compromise deal emerging at climate talks in Brazil, ending a long-standing standoff between the two countries. Both Turkey and Australia had bid to host COP31 in 2022, and neither had backed down until now.
Nvidia reported $57 billion in revenue for Q3, up 62% year-on-year, with GAAP net income rising 65% to $32 billion, surpassing Wall Street forecasts. The company's data center business led the surge, generating $51.2 billion, up 25% from last quarter and 66% from last year, highlighting Nvidia's continued leadership in AI computing and hardware. The US approved the sale of Javelin anti-tank missiles, and Excalibur guided artillery munitions worth $93 million to India, marking the first such foreign military sale since ties cooled in August over tariffs. The Defense Security Cooperation Agency said the sale supports U.S. foreign policy and national security objectives by bolstering India's defense capabilities and the strategic partnership in the Indo-Pacific region.
And the draw for the 2026 World Cup playoffs has been completed in Zurich, locking in all matchups for Europe's 4 remaining spots. Teams will play semi-finals on March 26th and finals on March 31st. Italy faces Northern Ireland, Wales meets Bosnia, Ukraine takes on Sweden, Poland meets Albania, Turkey draws Romania, Slovakia plays Kosovo, while Denmark faces North Macedonia and Czechia hosts Ireland. Winners of the 4 paths qualify for the World Cup. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samar.tv. Thank you for watching Samar News.